Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do some redecorating and I am super excited because I'm going to move my tiny village to a place where we can see it more and enjoy it more. So I'm excited. Let's hop into the build. Okie dokie, welcome to my teeny tiny little village. And as you can see, it's up here on this little ridge and just you can't see it. No one can see it, and I want people to be able to see it, and I want to see it because it makes me happy. So what I've done is I've created this wall here that I'm still getting used to, and I'm going to put my little village down here, and I think it's gonna look really cute. I put my Leaning Tower of Pisa back here because I would like to pretend that it's a little city, and having my Leaning Tower of Pisa there just makes sense to me. I think I made a big enough space to put all of the things that I want to put. I've also put some potted plants down there. Maybe I want to simulate some different trees, but I intend on incorporating as many of my little teeny tiny pine trees as much as possible. And then I want to be able to utilize this space for something other than just me trying to hybrid roses all the time. Like eventually I'd like to put buildings up here and a bridge maybe here. That could be cool. That's, that could be something. Probably not today. I want to work on my little village down below because I think it'd be really cute to stand here and just look out. Look out upon the village, right? So let's make some forced perspective village vibes happen today. All right, a couple of things we're going to need to do in order to get started is put on our handy dandy island designer hat, and we're going to have to plop down our little trash can. So I brought a little trash can so that I can manage this flower situation. I hate throwing flowers away, but at this point I have so many in this area that running back and forth to sell them doesn't make a whole ton of sense. They're not worth a whole ton of money. And I have a lot of flowers on my island, so I'm not super worried about it. So I'm just gonna start packing up my flowers. Alrighty, so here is my area pretty cleared out. I still have just some path and some dirt here. And just looking at this space, I'm trying to figure out where I want it to start and stop. I took it up to the bridge line here. And I have a stone wall that I think I want to use to block this area off because this bridge leads into my Zen garden area that I've been working on forever. So I definitely want to maintain this area. This was my first area that I ever worked on my island. So it's definitely staying for a very long time, but I'm just trying to figure out how big I want this area. So I'm thinking at least like this, and I could just eventually take it all the way out to this area if I wanted to and leave the Zen garden all across the bridge here, which I like. I'm gonna go grab some of that fencing and wall this off so we can get started. Alrighty, so I brought two different fencing. I brought the stone fence like that, and I brought the brick fence that looks like this. So trying to figure out what I would like better, and this one's a little hard. I think that scale-wise, obviously they're both off. They're both larger than the buildings and things that I'll be using. I'm just trying to pick between a color. I like that the brick matches more with the bridge, like the brown in the bridge and like the brown in the walls. I do like the stone as well. I think that it looks really nice and potentially would look nice with the houses. So it's a little hard for me to make that decision right now. Which one do I pick? Here, let's just make a line. Let's just make a line and see what it looks like. I mean, ultimately it doesn't really matter because it just kind of blends in here. So that's what that looks like. This is hard because I like both. I think that both look fine. I like that the stone kind of, to me, matches more with the tone of the flowers and the trees around. And I also feel like it's the better height for the buildings that are around. I feel like the brick one is far too tall. So let's just stick with that. That's the one. There it is. And so I'm just gonna make a retaining wall here. There we go. That looks great. now I think I want to fill in these spots over here just because they're a little distracting. I do want to have a little spot that tells me, where to hop to. But I think that I'll use my custom designs for that. I could use little stones, and maybe they'll be going in that direction that you would hop to. And so here would be maybe one of the bigger stones. Maybe this one. I'm not sure if I can put buildings here and hop. I would very much like to have that, but if not, maybe we can put some trees or something here. I would just like this whole area to be full of little miniatures. There we go. Very cute. I'm not sure. I mean, I might just have something else there, but for now, I think that looks okay. And then I think I also want to take the rest of this path out just because it's a little distracting. There's a balloon. I wish I had enough willpower to not stop what I was doing every single time a year plus in to grab balloons, but I don't. I don't have any willpower to not do it. See, and it worked out for us. We got 5K. All right, back to moving our buildings. I could probably just pick all these up and then just kind of plop them down because I'm really not sure how things are gonna go. I do have this whole area, and I know that this isn't gonna be full in a day. I don't have enough items to fill all the way back up to the back, but I have enough to get started. And I think that having that good baseline of where I want things to go will help me to have this area be a work in progress in a way that makes sense to me, or at least is a thing that I like to look at while I'm getting it in order. So I'm just going to drop all these down because I want to clear up the path area. There we go. So this is more along the lines of the area that I want to start working in. I think I still want to have this 2-lane path, and then I think I want it to go into maybe a 1-lane. I'm not sure if I want to use custom designs though on it. I'm still going back and forth there on what that would look like, because if I'm looking at scale, this is kind of the scale that I'm thinking that we would want to do. I don't have that in the path, so I just don't think that this is the look that I'm going for, but I will try it. So if I had a little spot like this, and I had the doghouse, because I'm going to use the dog houses and the doll houses. And this might just be what I use for now, and then I'm going to put a different path down. Holy cow, another balloon. Ooh, a jockey uniform. No one's excited for that. Unless you're excited for jockey uniforms, then by all means, please be excited. But for me, that's not really the look I'm going for. That could work for now, at least. Let me clear this area up. And then maybe I'll clear this, and I'll clear this. That's the hard part, is that I don't think I'm using this path anywhere else. So potentially I'll have to get something different. But for now, let's just use it because we have it. So ideally, it would come out through here. We're just going to make the street. And then I could probably put the trash can away at this point because I don't think I need it, except for maybe to throw that jockey uniform away in. And then we'll want a corner, maybe something like that. And maybe we can curl it down, make it fun. Let's just make it a little fun. Maybe it's more of a something like that. Oh wait, maybe it's more like this. And then it connects there. Something like that, maybe? That could work. And then, I mean, nobody says that you have to also have path everywhere. That can just be the main path. Because I do want to put trees and things down, so we'll just go with that for right now, and we'll see how that goes. The idea would be then we would have maybe like our little doghouse here, and maybe they have a camper. For example, look how cute that is. See, and it's just parked right outside the house. Very cute, and then we can incorporate the doll houses and stuff there. Let's place the tower, because I really want this to be the focal point of the city that we're making. I got a lot of little campers. I got a little container because I felt like it looked like a bus to me. And so I was just trying to have different types of vehicles on our little road that we have here. In this case, it's going to be quite the country road. But to me, I know it's a little train. It's very much a little like subway car, but it could also be a little bus. So let's just pretend it's a bus. And then maybe, I think I had a little truck. I have a lot of campers. I obviously was very excited about the campers. Little cars just driving around. Maybe I have more of the houses lined up there. Let me get my other dog house. And then we're just gonna flip it around so you can't really see the like the dog bowl and things like that. And then I'm gonna start grabbing the doll houses up here, and I do have some of them raised up on stone. So the ones on the stone, I think I'm gonna keep in the back so that we can have more height. See, I have these little stone pillars that they've been sitting on. So that would look something like this down here. And then we would just turn this all around and figure out which angle I want. So do I want the front there, or this side, or that side? I think I like with the door open. And then we would want to turn it on so that it at nighttime looks like the windows are glowing. I think I want to also create some height behind the tower. And I may eventually need to make some more stone stools for things to sit on as well. And then I'll also need to make room for trees, because I'll need a couple spaces in order for that to work. Maybe I want it to look like we have one camper, because I'm definitely not going to make a 2-lane road, but let's just pretend that they are not driving head on into each other, but that they are driving on opposite sides of the road, as one does. And look at that. I already like how that is turning out. It looks like way better than what I have here, where you really couldn't see what was going on. I do have a lot of pink doll houses. That's okay. It doesn't really bother me that they're all the same color, but I would like eventually to have a little bit more variety for sure. And I probably want to eventually have more dog houses as well, because I like how that looks. I think the contrast is really good between the two different types of houses. I think I'll have that one facing this way, and we'll just push it forward and maybe off to the side a little bit. Might be a little too close, but I can move it around later. That's coming along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that so far for sure. And I do have all these stunted trees that I would like to bring with me. And I think for now I'm just going to place the houses just so, because I do want to have more trees. Maybe the trees will be a little bit more towards the front. Or maybe they'll be in the back. Not really sure yet. Or just kind of around the sides. Yeah, so maybe I'll have some of the trees dotted through here. Because I like the idea of being able to see the houses. I also want to make sure that, you know, you can see the trees in the village. And more campers. Okay, so we have lots of cars. Which I think is great. Let's make sure we have all of these on. I think having extra cars is good, because I can just put them just kind of around. I do have a lot of the same car, but that's okay. I think I need one less right here, actually. I like the idea of it looking like there's cars just maybe parked outside of homes. Place one here, so it looks something like that. To try to put another car back here. You can't even see it. Oh, and now I'm trapped. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit better, actually. The struggle with decorating these small areas is that you have very limited space to work in, and you just got to be patient, and it's a lot of trial and error. All right, looks like we have one car left, and I think that this looks really good. This is really coming along so far. I think I want to just plop my last little car, just a cute little yellow camper near the pink and yellow houses, just parked there on the side. All right, I like this. I think that this is coming along really well. Let's pop up here so we can take a look before I start putting trees in. See, this is way better. This is way more along the lines of what I was thinking of in the first place. Somewhere that's really cool that you can take really nice pictures at. It looks like I'm far away looking down on a very bustling little city. Looking at my little wall that I have here, I might want to fill this area in, depending on how many trees I'm able to fit in there. But these are all our trees that we're going to be moving, and I would like to just kind of incorporate them around our little city. And I think I have another one that's over here. So yeah, let's get into moving some trees around. And I'll show you how I've stunted these. If it's not clear already, I'll walk you through the process. Okie dokie. So I have removed my trees from the top platform and I'm going to start dotting them around my little village area here. So to do this, you're going to need 2 spaces to put trees. And as you can see, I have some cedar trees and I have some fruit trees. And these nursery fruit trees are going to be the little buddies that are going to help us in having stunted cedar trees like we have there. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can place my little apple tree right there. And then in front of my little apple tree, I am going to place one of my young cedar trees, just like that. And it should stay like that. It should grow there, or I should say not grow there, but it should stay that way forever. So that is a really fun tip and also helps with making it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more dynamic on our islands where we have different sized trees. So what I want to do here is I think I want to put one just right back here. Okay, and then we're going to put our fruit tree. And then we'll put our cedar tree. This will work for the hardwood trees as well. If you wanted to have small hardwood trees, that's totally fine. That'll work too. I personally really like the look of the cedar tree. I tend to use those. What I'm trying to do is not have all the trees in a line, as I've already successfully started doing. So I like how those 2 look, but I definitely want to have something a little bit different. So maybe I want to try to put one here. Maybe this guy comes a little bit that way. Let's see how far I can go. I'm not trying to cover everything up, but I'm also trying to make it look natural. So there might be a big tree that grows in front of the houses. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm gonna like how this looks. But let's try it because I'm curious. Oh, and cool. I am able to move the tower over a little bit. That's kind of more of what I wanted to have happen. There we go. I think that looks really nice. Okay, cool. So let's do another tree over here. Very nice. Look at that. So very natural. Maybe I can make a little road out this way to make things a little bit more interesting. And then since there's like a little break in the road, maybe I want to cover that. Maybe the bus is going this way, like that. Looks very much like a little town. And then maybe I do want to try the smaller tree up on the hillside there, because this is getting very hard to walk through here. And now it's just about tweaking it. So it's like, do I want him kind of off to the side there? And now I'm trapped. But that's okay because we can use a ladder and get out. The other thing I was thinking about using were the cypress trees. They're in a pot. So maybe I could use that as well and start dotting those in. I don't need 2 spaces to do that. Those are just small trees that stay pretty small. And it also adds a different color, so they're more of a bright green. So that's an item that I could collect and start putting in as well. But just taking a look at this, I'm really pleased with how this is looking already. And I think that if I could build a little area that I could sit and look down upon my little bustling town, that is something that's really awesome and really cool. So I'm thrilled with this. So let's put our last little tree up here. See how that looks. Put this in Chief's garden. Chief can be in charge of the tiny trees. I wonder if I can put the apple tree. Okay, so I can put the apple tree down first. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not the look I was going for, but that's okay. I feel like you won't be able to really tell, and it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be, and that's fine. Yeah, you can't really even tell. I mean, you can tell. Let's not pretend you can't see it, but you can see it, but it's not really that big of a deal, at least not to me. To you, if that's something that you want to go through and uproot and fix, I don't blame you. I totally get it. I'm not a perfectionist at all. As you can see there, I can't even dig a hole where I intend. I'm not a perfectionist at all. I like to think of myself more as an exceptionalist, and I like the idea of exceptionalism because there is room for mistakes to happen. And so that little happy accident over there doesn't bother me at all. It gives me an idea of what it could look like to have smaller trees up there behind my city, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. I love how this looks. I'm very excited about this. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me as I start my little miniature force perspective town. I am so excited to finally put together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this was helpful for you. So yes, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!